Imperial's a team that's been to multiple majors. Like, you look at someone like Vinny, for example, he's been around forever at a very high level. So that's definitely saying something. Imperial on the CT side, though, going to be having to weather the storm over on Bs. It's going to be a fast hit from TNL, getting straight in the face, but some really good counter utility. Keeps them at bay, and Vinny speaking the man, and he will strike for 2.
Oh, that is really well played. A third headshot to add to it as Onyx goes down, and Flyrax on his own at the back. It's Vinny to clean up 4 kills. The smoke couldn't have been any better. The headshot were crisp, and Imperial off to a good start. And you've got to be honest as well, no matter what the world ranking says, I still feel like Imperial somehow carry more weight, which means if there is another upset, we've already had a couple today, you know, people are going to be, they're going to be mad in the Twitch chat. Stay mad, as they say.
I do still feel like Imperial are the favorites in this game. I think the veto is very evenly poised. I wouldn't be surprised if it does go to a third map, but I feel like Imperial's superior experience at multiple faceted tournaments over the years is going to yield very well for them. This Eco Bash goes into play.
What?
4K for Cello. Very nicely done. And he lives on 3 HP to tell the tale. Let's see if Onyx can deal the fatal damage to him with the deke.
He's out of there. I did not think he was going to get that last kill. It looked like he was obviously getting chipped away at from the Glocks. That was it'd be a fun kill to get in replay. But yeah, he's going to be found here. No chance for Onyx to survive. Vinny, all right, a bit of mercy. Doesn't try and knife him or anything else like that. So a couple of rounds out of the way already. Imperial looking pretty decent to begin with here. But I will say this, from what little I've seen out of TNL, they're a team that, in spite of being, you know, from the CIS region, they're still a pretty aggressive team. Like, some CIS Counter-Strike could be, you know, a lot of teams in the region do play a slower style. I feel like TNL are still a pretty aggressive team. So, you know, we'll see how that one plays out when we get deeper into it. We're only in round 3, but the AKs are out, and it looks like they are all in the B hallways. That's a really big commitment.
Yeah, and a player to watch out for as well is going to be Davey, as they do start to get more aggressive. This round, though, as you highlight, going to be into B. This crossfire is so good, and they're not even allowed the opportunity because Try is just banging them out in apps at range. Also lands a wall bang onto Onyx. Down to a measly 24 HP. That grenade could seal the deal. It actually bounces off the windowsill. A little bit awkward, but I mean, the end result is going to be the same. There is no way forward for Onyx. A very brisk, lightning fast 3-0 start. Imperial in fine form. So if he's not really believing, then I guess that goes to show you that something's probably slightly off in that regard. Oh dear. He finally got rifles and he get wrecked through the smoke again. No luck for TNL so far.
Huge spray down. Cello just committed to that one. They're going to back on out. They have what they sort of came for. They don't really need to stick around in the middle any longer. This is very interesting. Again, the map is picked by TNL. Not that it's necessarily completely over here, but obviously if they lose this round without doing at least some damage, things do start to get a little bit more tricky. Smoke going down, so giving some control of the connector position to the T side, potentially. The bomb is up in Palace, so with a minimap, we pretty much know where this is going to end. The question is, can they actually create enough space in the middle to get out of the Palace? So far, no. So Davies going down. And is in there, just down in the underpass position. Knife comes up with a shot onto Try. So still about 45 seconds left as they make their way through. A little bit of noise being made, but Cello, great headshot. And now this Palace push is going to be hard to make work, I think.
And they've spotted one of the two crossing to the site, and that's Knife. He's been peppered down to 19 HP. Flyrax has the AWP in the apps Palace area. And he is now all that remains. 25 seconds, tickles the bomb, draws back into the open, try as he may. He's only going to be able to get the one frag. A valiant attempt at the end, but it's more of the same. Imperial stampede to a 5-0 lead.
Vinny happily jumping back here. We'll see if he can be found. I was going to say it could have been fun to see the peak coming in with the Beagle on the other side, but that's not going to be the case either. They will go back to the same well over at the B-bomb side, and a nice kill there from Flyrax. That could open up something. Vinny, though, is still holding on the other side, and that bomb is kind of stuck behind the smoke there. They almost have to go back, and maybe they will now that Onyx got the A-bomb side.
So they have Try watching from the jungle. He's now backed away to the window. So this plant looks like it is almost guaranteed to come down. And it will be a difficult, rough retake. All three players pretty healthy, and you do have utility alongside it, but TNL with a real chance here to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, what a change around. Imperial didn't see it coming, although Try will get the one there. Vinny running straight into Onic. Pretty good kill. There are kits in play, and the smoke, more importantly, I think, for this bomb site. If you want a chance to retake this one, it's going to have to be a smoke and a pretty quick move. Ooh, way out in the open. Onic not quite ready for that. A flash goes over. Smoke on top of the bomb as well. And they're going to try and dive in. Actually, the bomb is a little bit further back, so it's not smoked at all. That could have been really risky, but Davy's going to be found. That's an impressive round, honestly, for TNL. They didn't have a lot going into it. They do some real damage. They get the bomb planted as well. That's...
But if you just get it snapped clean off from Imperial, they come through here and get a really convincing round again, up to a 7-0. It doesn't matter. Any of that work you've just done is for naught. Onic, though, will tee off with the first frag, but he does get traded instantly.
Yeah, it's good work. Getting the kill in return there makes a big difference. There's no way. He's 7-1 right now. It's a pretty good start for him individually. Vinny trying to pretend like he was maybe walking away from the whole thing, but he got caught before he could really get inside of the smoke, and that's enough. Opening it up. TNL, they had the plan at the very start of the game to attack this B bomb site really early on, and it's taken all the way up until now before it's actually worked.
I do agree, though. It's interesting how B-centric they've been. I'm not sure if they've kind of like decided that Vinny is a potential weak link. Well, so far, that's not been the case. He's on 11-2. He's been bossing it.
I don't hate it, but it is dangerous having the bomb on the ARAM that far forward alone. Look at the smoke going up. That's a whole smoke wall just being set up by Onic alone. He's actually thrown in every single smoke onto the A bomb site so far, and the Molotov. He's a one-man execution army as the rest of TNL are making their way up to the middle and into connector. They get the opening on Skulls. They're going to catch No Way in that window. He could never make it out of there alive. This is so cool.
I thought that was going to let him down for a second. Spray comes through, and it's going to be the one and done. And yeah, you could see that they were really fully expecting a full-on execute through on Ramp and Palace. It never occurred to them that connector could be a serious problem. And finally, Davey comes alive. A player to really watch out for, an incredible talent. And it reminds me a little bit of how Venom played in that previous game that we saw them surprise NIP, especially on Dust 2. You know, no frills necessarily, pretty straightforward executes, but having the conviction to follow through and not have any second guesses. As Davey, up close, going to catch Cello. He had no idea, no understanding. Double frag for Davey. Beautiful entries. And he even tries to spin around and nearly takes out Vinny across the map through the smoke.
Yeah, that actually looked like he could have straight killed him. He's all the way down to 11, but at the very same time, Tries found a couple of shots, and suddenly things get a bit more interesting. It looked like it was a done deal here for the T side, and somehow Imperial hold on a bit longer. Try in a position where he can't really unscope. Onic has got to be careful. Skulls, although he's not got any kills yet, he's in a position to basically get a free one there. Spins around the spray, not quite good enough, but it's a third kill for Try. And unfortunately, that will be in the bombs alone here. 1 versus 2, Flyrax will go and try and get the bomb planted. He's very exposed. If Vinny keeps walking, there was a chance he maybe could have got spotted, but instead now, Flyrax actually has an opportunity to get this to work.
And you typically think, like, with Vinny being low, maybe pop the sidearm, throw a HE, but that's completely unconfirmed damage. Keep in mind, Vinny was peppered through a smoke from Davey, all the way on A site. He had no idea how many of those bullets hit, no idea if any of those bullets hit. So Flyrax is going to have to sit here with the AWP, spots the first frag, and it is Vinny that goes down, knows exactly where Try is, and connects the second to secure a third round in a row for TNL.
If they keep going like this, I mean, 4 rounds is probably already recoverable. You might not be celebrating, but you can definitely still win the map with 4 rounds on the T side of Mirage. If they get more than that, who knows what is going to happen. It's Cello and No Way just getting a couple of kills right off the bat, and I mean, that should be enough to seal the round here.
That's one thing I would say about Imperial is they haven't really changed up their mid protocols too much. Like, you see a lot of CT sides actually get aggressive up middle. Cello did it against the Eco round where he picked up that beautiful 4K spray down. But apart from that, they're not trying to get into underpass. They're not trying to get onto middle boxes. So this time they go for a flash and a double peek out middle, and it yields 2 huge kills. So just mixing up a tiny bit. And Try was able to get his hands on an AWP dropped across from one of his teammates. So, I mean, as much as we're saying this is great comeback from TNL, the problem is that because you're still down at such a huge deficit, if Imperial can still pick up an 8-4 here, that's a solid half as far as they're concerned as well. It's looking more and more likely with every passing second. A lot slower. Trying to make Imperial utilize some of their smokes and grenades as well as they blow open the smoke here. Flick from Try, narrowly awry. That is information gathered.
Also find one there. Flyrex is right on the other side. Oh, Try. He is so sure that someone's going to be holding that angle, basically trying to pre-fire it while peeking into it. It's a pretty bold move. And the time is running down. Looks like they want to go back and retest that B-bomb site. And honestly, if Onyx is playing in the connector, if they can make an entry onto B, that position that Onyx is in is going to be so valuable. But it does all hinge on whether or not they can make their way through. I don't think Onyx can necessarily be the first point of contact here. He's sneaking into the window while they're trying to get through the hallway. Easiest kill of Vinny's life here. As Onyx goes down, it just is going to slowly peter out, unfortunately. Flyrax and Khan are here, and they're not going to be able to make their way through. The double AWP setup is too much. It's another round here for Imperial, and a very good first half, all things considered. Classic position up in the palace to try and stop it. Let's see what he could do with just 2 pistols.
2 pistols for 2 adversaries. In fact, make that a third. Is it enough firepower? Missing out on the first shot pretty much sealed his fate. And although Davey does come through onto ramp, they know where he currently stands, and they will deal with him accordingly. A 2 for 3 trade will favor Imperial, but they're still yet to get the bomb plant. Gonna go for it now.
It's such a disappointment when you got the dualies and you miss the first couple of shots. You just know that it's probably not going to get any easier from here on out. Try dancing away at the corner of the box. Cello sneaking up to execute Onyx, and Flyrax couldn't really do much of anything here. Nice finish to the round. Huge coming out from that T side.
No, this is going to be 10 rounds. And what's kind of concerning for me as well is we often in these kind of positions at this kind of scoreline, there's like one player that's like really carrying and nobody else is helping them out. The fact is 4 players on Imperial have 10 kills or higher. 0 have that mark for TNL. Their top frag is on 7. Like, it's not even as if it's a 1-star show. Like, everybody's been dulled down in this game so far.
Cello just up for a bit of a hunt. Why not? Might as well make a bit of extra cash. In fact, going to be a couple of them there. Davey finally says, no thank you. Round will be comfortably for Imperial. I think... Oh, all right. At least we get the Zeus kill. That is worth it. It's worth it for that alone.
It's like, we're getting wrecked, guys, but I did get a Zeus kill, so worth, right?
Yeah, smiles all around. You know, you gotta find your own little humor. You gotta make your own moments like that in life.
They gotta make this next moment count, Anders, because this is their buy round. This is what we're hinging on at this point. If you can't get it done here, full M4A1Ss.
Look at this. This is going to be fast. They're going to go for it right away. There is one more player rotating in, but honestly, Knife is in a lot of trouble right now. Good spray down. Super important. The backup is now coming in. That little bit of a slowdown. Just that one kill. Oh, but a headshot from Skulls. He finds Khan just as he's trying to make his escape, and Skulls actually finding another shot there. Jumping Tech 9 up, it's a Mac 10, sorry, up close, and Flyrax will end up going down. So Onyx finds himself alone. Imperial very much taking up the same kind of approach that TNL were doing on their own T side. They're just hitting the A bomb side instead, and the sheer speed behind this is making it very, very hard to stop them.
This has been a real collective effort from Imperial, and TNL just haven't been able to really hang with them so far.
Yeah, that is ultimately a really good point, isn't it? Although, just as we say it, the MP9s are somehow coming back to haunt Imperial, but individually they have been playing very well. The whole squad pretty much showing up. Try should be dead here, but somehow the 5-7 has betrayed Flyrax. That's very rare. That's a lot of bullets missed, and it's given an opportunity, honestly, for Imperial to get back into the game suddenly. It's a 2 versus 3 from it being a 5-on-3, so TNL missing a bunch of individual fights here. Some of them they might have not even really needed to take. It's Cello again. Laser across that B bomb site. He's up to 17 kills now. And Knife, what can you really do? You're too far away.
That's the thing as well. It's like, you know, TNL have been doing really good against the EU teams. They've been performing well. They've been having a lot of success. But how often, when we come through to majors and we have the legacies, the Imperials, these kind of teams, and we write them off, we say, nah, they're the 0-3 fodder, and then they go way further than any of us expected. There's always that Brazilian flair, that South American flair, especially with Try as well.
Connector and in the window, so pretty standard protocols here. It's actually Imperial slowing the game down a bit. Khan is here. Ooh, nice shot as he sprays through Davey on the other side too. Skull's going to be able to pick up that kill, so the crossfire there through the middle working out pretty well. There's only 25 seconds too, so unless Jello can get this straight headshot, he can. But with Davey getting another one, it should be too late. The bomb is lost in an unwinnable position.
Yeah, it's about doing as much damage as possible right now to the economy of TNL. Because even if, obviously, they can't save, it's do or die effectively, you could maybe force...
TNL need to win another 6 round from this stage just to get this into overtime. And with this being a 4-on-5, it feels unlikely. Although they are moving back into the right position, they're realizing this is in fact going to be an A execute. They're trying to get out through the palace. Vinny kind of gets caught in the middle of the incendiary, and that will end up getting him killed. Still a minute on the clock, though.
Nice spray. It should fall into position now for TNL, although Skulls and Cello both get kills. It's now down to Try. Kicked off the round. He's up to 15 kills. Can he go two better? Can he put this map down into an Imperial victory? Bomb still needs to be retrieved, as he's going to try and bypass that smoke, but Flyrax is watching. And it did seem a bit foolish watching from Vinny's perspective. I could understand why people are like, why did he push that? They had no utility left, and they'd already smoked off connector.
Smokes up towards the connector. That's a double nade landing in the connector for the T-side, but it doesn't really do any damage. They're hoping that they could catch someone there. The incendiaries will push them back, but Davies just sticking his ground. He's right in that borderland between the smoke and the Molotov, and able to spray a couple of them down. In fact, he will even find a third kill after the fact, so huge round for him, but it might not be over. Hold the phone. 2 versus 2 all of a sudden.
Oh, Try had a good idea about the situation. No way going to try and get that plant down while the smoke is still in play. HE up and over. Lands too deep. Won't be affecting him. When you're on 28 HP, don't be surprised if No Way tries something ridiculous and rolls the dice, but he's not going to be afforded that luxury. He's about to get backstabbed. And down he will fall. I actually thought for a second there, Anders, on 28 HP, you just got the bomb planted. I thought he would push into that smoke because they knew that Flyrax had an AWP and catwalk. The issue is that they haven't fully invested behind it. So Onyx position now, they should have a good idea to this being a possibility. And he's about to walk through on 2 different angles. Even if he does get this kill, he should be traded out. And now they know that Flyrax is last seen in the B-apps. This could go horribly wrong for TNL.
Super scary stuff. There's smokes in the middle as well, so they're putting some pressure on the rest of the map right now. The communication for TNL is going to be really hard to deal with. The bomb is over here, but if they lose that connector player right now, they're in an enormous amount of trouble. It's Knife that's playing right at the edge of the smoke. It's on the other side now. Cello's trying to get the walkthrough, and he's not going to have the advantage in this one, so good kill for Knife, but that doesn't really put them out of their troubles here. 45 seconds and just one single person trying to hold the connector against everybody from Imperial coming through. He's got no chance, and that is going to cement the bomb plant. There's nothing the rest of TNL could do about it.
Oh, Davies going to have to go above and beyond. This is going to have to be a Herculean effort. And Vinny could have him on the murder hole approach. Flyrax has given his position away, but Vinny gets baited out. 1 HP for Flyrax. Skulls at 50. No Way at 10. Are they really going to be able to pull this one off?
Should never be allowed to, but maybe there is an opportunity here. No Way's going to go down as well. Now it's just Try. 1 versus 2. Good shot on the Flyrax, and Davies already a bit low and certainly low on time. That bomb is ticking away. Almost out of it now, and Try with the spray. He connects for his 18th kill. And Imperial, they dodge the overtime, and they take down TNL on their own map pick. Let's see if they can make a bit of a comeback here, TNL, and maybe snatch this map away.
It would be quite a surprise, but it's time to put up or shut up as far as TNL are concerned. The flashbang is so good. Onyx fully blinded, and those Julie's going to have no impact whatsoever. Can't deny the bomb plant either. Smoke down in heaven will afford Skulls the luxury of dialing in the digits, and now the CT is going to be looking to try and boost up, but Cello's there, and his aim has been so on point today.
Bomb planted already. It's going to make it a lot harder to go for this kind of a retake here. 3 versus 5. Nice shot from Knife. Maybe that can queue them up. Flyrax, it almost looked like he was sort of walking away. He was walking backwards away from this position, but now he's started to re-engage. It's still really far away. I don't know if this is even quite doable. Sneaking in, all right. Good shot onto No Way, but they're bleeding players, and I think they've already made the call. They've realized it's not worth it. Flyrax, he's got a bit of armor. He's decided to leave this position. It's going to be Imperial to win the pistol in a pretty straightforward fashion, to be honest. Maybe a chance that they could overcome TNL, who have just finally got their rifles on board here. Flash to go through. They come right into this setup. It's a pretty sick one, too. Knife gets a couple of kills. I like that attempt from Imperial. I think the idea of flashing going through the smoke there is not a bad idea, but they had what amounts to the ultimate counter to that kind of a setup with a bit of a crossfire. One of them was probably never going to be flashed from that one, so that works out in their favor. Try and Vinny with a couple of Galils. Still a lot to be done in this round. If they can get some more kills in here, they can keep TNL low enough, but that timing is pretty bad.
I absolutely love how Knife has played this round. Not just with the setup that they had, as it's going to be a fairly straightforward shutdown. You'll see this in the highlight package. It's the fact that he preemptively, with low bullets left in the magazine, knowing that there's dropped assault rifles around him, linchpin of Vinny, who can push through a monster, meanwhile simultaneously through on the B side. And there's only 2 players here to try and receive them. Onika's one of them. He's been Molotov'd out of position alongside Davi. 15 seconds left, though. They still need to get the bomb down on the site.
Well, they're being really slow here about it. See if they can actually find an entry down to 9 seconds. They're getting great kills in here. Gotta be sure you can actually get the bomb planted as well. Might not need it. Shello's gonna be able to clean it up. Okay, I was getting worried for a second, but they had it under control. They bought some armor in this one, so let's see if they can shock and surprise. I'm not seeing a flashbang going over. They just walk in, and Cello is presumably, you know, communicating with his teammates or something. That's one of those moments where you're not expecting for anything to happen. Normally, by the way, if the CTs try and do that, there is a flash to go over. You don't just walk around the corner and expect to live. Speaking of flashes, Onyx, not a chance in hell. They're going to go and plant the bomb here. A couple of people on the other side. I doubt if they're going to be able to stop the rest of Imperial.
It's going to definitely help matters. Now he puts that MP9 to use. They may not check the back of the site. They've already dealt with a couple of players here. Knife could be on for something special as he's going to show his hand now from the back, and the Deagle will connect. Oh, he hid in the smoke for so long, and they had no idea. That's going to be a short, sharp shock for Imperial if they thought this is going to be a straightforward map and a straightforward T-half. The aggression out on short. As Khan has put down that HE and oh, nice spam through the smoke. He's going to yield the frag on Vinny. That's going to keep Imperial at arm's reach for the time being. They have con controls, so they can quickly wrap up onto the bathroom side, but there's a fast rotation as well. TNL, who originally showed their hand, puffed their chest out, said we're on short, have quickly gone back up onto A, and it allows Flyrax to get aggressive with the AWP on this banana position.
Like Onyx needed something like that. That was his first kill. Even if it's through the smoke, it still counts. Trying to bait out the shot here is Skulls. So far not getting anything for his troubles. There is a player lurking through the monster tunnel elsewhere on the map, but they're bleeding players left and right at the moment. Skulls goes down, and now this lurk, you can't really call it a lurk, I think, when you're on your own like this. I don't know if No Way's going to be allowed to save for the next 40 seconds, but that could be, you know, kind of the call. They don't have any money on the T side, so TNL, what a save from being very, very close to losing some of these rounds early on here. They've really recovered it. Now, I know what you mean. There was an opportunity for that to be a hilarious self-own. It didn't turn out that way. Oh, they line up. Look at Onyx spraying them down. They wanted to put some pressure on to try and get onto the B-bomb site, but it hasn't worked out for them. Davies on the other side. He's going to pick up the AK instead of reloading his M4. And why not? That is kind of called. That definitely can work out. Obviously, we know that on the map, but when you end up all standing in one line coming through the monster tunnel, that is not always the way to go. Cello goes down and it leaves Tribe. He's got 4 kills, looking for a couple of headshots here. They're allowing him some couple of individual fights. Oh, that's a team flash as well. Flyrax will save the day, but there was a moment there where that could have gone wrong.
Not this particular one with forward positioning from Flyrax, and that could catch Imperial in a false sense of security, but they're going to do their due diligence. This flashbang doesn't actually connect on the rock. It's more for the tree position, but there's nothing that they can do about it. 2 for 0 trade, and that leaves Flyrax in a horrible spot now.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially when that first flashbang doesn't even, properly flash the corner. You like a lot of the time when you're playing that double forward position on the CT side, one of them is playing anti-flash anyway. But yeah, I'm not sure if the flashbangs were even the big problem. Just great shots, especially the first one there for the side of Imperial. There's still a stack at the B bomb side. Honestly, weirdly, this is still winnable for TNL. Not easily so, but if they come through the tunnel like this, it could be a sort of Vince. Onyx is right here, sprays in, and Davey, he swings around. He doesn't see the second player just yet, but we're down to 30 seconds. Now he's back, and that's the bomb, lost in the tunnel. Headshot on the skulls, and just like that, it flips in favor of TNL. Imperial, what should have been an absolutely perfect double kill to start with, it still is not enough to win the round.
Love that as well. Shushing the camera. He knows he's on point. He was phenomenal in the first map. To put it in perspective, by the way, even though they lost it in the end, 13-9, he came out of that with a 1.73 rating and 107 ADR with 22 frags. Like, he loses, but yet he's still the best player on the server.
And maybe for good reason, even if ultimately the project didn't really work out with Liquid and all the rest of it, it was still, his name really got out there, right? A lot of people have some respect for him, but in this game, it's been pretty lackluster, to be honest. 3 kills so far in this map. No way. Responsible for killing Onyx. That was through the smoke, so just unfortunate. Knife. He didn't even see the shadow on the ground there, but just wasn't really ready. Looked like he was holding a bit of a cold position, so didn't have his brain fully turned on. Bomb is making its way there with 30 seconds, but I'm not even sure that's going to happen now. No way on his own.
He's managed to get himself out onto the site. Oh, that would have been an absurd shot by Flyrax. He's already picked up 3 in this round. And although he may be missing onto No Way, the strength in numbers approach now comes full circle. And who else but Davey to seal up this half? 9-3. And keep in mind that 3 of the 4 rounds...
Knife is outside of the monster tunnel, and so far all TNL are doing is investigating the restrooms. They're not committed to anything. They can all just go down through connector, join up with Knife, and hit that B bomb site, so don't get too carried away. What's interesting is that they have no grenades on that T side. They lose Knife, and that's super unfortunate. Now, they're really close to the A bomb site, but man, they need to hit the shots.
Trying to look for intel with those jump peaks. No Way's been flashed, but he missed a bunch of bullets beforehand. Fortunately for him, Try is wrapping around the back. And although damage has been inflicted, he's down to 6. There's too many crosshairs pointed towards TNL. And there's nowhere for them to go. They can't even back away, but they're standing tall and delivering. Down to a 3-on-2, and Try is exceptionally low. This round maybe not done just yet.
Surely Imperial can't get this one back, but they might not have a chance. Davey with another good shot, and now Flyrax. He's got the bomb. He's got about 16 seconds. Trying to see if he can dance around the truck here. Cello getting closer. He's only got 7 bullets. Oh, but he's right on top of it. I don't think Flyrax even realizes. Nice mid-air headshot. Cello risking it all without reloading, and it's absolutely worth it.
It's incredible game sense, man. He'd been toying with him for so long. He assumed at some point the reload would come in.
Classic Guardian position. Only one that's been around for a real long time. Onyx is going to walk straight into the shot, so even a little bit of something to work with. He does have some backup now, although they don't have a lot of utility really at the A-bomb site, but as long as they can kind of keep their distance, I think it should be fine. The only thing that could go wrong, I think, in a round like this one is if you're so committed to the A defense that you die on the site and give over a weapon. As long as you're not doing that, it's probably going to be fine. Cello up here. Very awkward spray, but Try is there with a good flick, and backup is coming immediately. There's no way to show up next, and again, as long as you're not giving over the weapons, it's going to be no problem. Davey with a headshot. I'm getting nervous.
I'm getting nervous, chap. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
this is grim,
nah.
isn't it? It's like this is an eco round, and even though you should still win, you've lost 3 players, which means you're guaranteed to actually lose out on some of the value of those rifles. And again, that's 2 rounds in a row where Imperial win.
It's nice to see that some of the, all the tech is sort of bleeding into modern day overpass, but obviously, because of the volumetric smokes now, it's going to be some positions presumably quite different from what they were in the past, or they will be exploited in new ways. One of the things I'm looking forward to in top-level Counter-Strike. Speaking of nice top level here for Try, who had a very slow start, but he is up to 9 kills now, point-blank range with the AWP. Got to be careful you don't assume that no one else is there. You've got 2 teammates down that are covering everything else, so I don't know why you need to join them at the moment. Probably going to be fine if you just stick around, but it is a decent start to the round here. And honestly, Imperial, if they can secure this round, especially with out too many casualties, things are starting to look very interesting once again.
Yeah, I think the reason why Try joined his teammates on short is because when you play Connector by yourself, especially with AWP, it has an expiry date on it. Because eventually you're going to get pushed from playground, you're going to get pushed from middle. And he'd realized that he was susceptible to being flanked from mid. So he joined his teammates, and it has worked out nicely. Just the 1 casualty. That's going to do the world of good to a lot of the problems we were discussing before about their economy being in kind of rough shape.
It's like in their attempt to, I don't know, double kill him, they somehow revive him. So stupid, isn't it? I don't know. I never even understood what the point was. Like, he's already dead. Like, he's in the ground. Like, just leave him. Anyway, classic movies, really. Oh, you gotta check this corner. Davey, and he will. I'm always nervous, but good stuff. Davies, I'm super impressed. I've seen 3 games from him, maybe ever, but he's doing good work.
There's a lot of very good signs right now.
Yes.
To him in particular.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really nice point. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Because there is a real difference between whether or not you are made the superstar by the rest of your team sacrificing everything for you, or like Davey, who's really been hitting the shots, the wallbang this time to take down No Way, and Try all the way back here. Now, he's got some backup. Honestly, the rotation here for Imperial is kind of sick. There's only 23 seconds. Try up front. They might still win this round. They're looking very good right here. Vinny's going to be going down. I don't think you're realizing how many people are here. Bomb is lost on the other side with 15 seconds. Flyrax, if you want to win this round, you have to run right now. This slow creep stuff is not going to be playing out. You don't have the time for it. Try is going to pick him up. It's a quad kill. That is a sick rotation and obviously a sick round from Try.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful round. Flyrax is having a lot of success on the CT side, but I think they've nailed it on the desk as well. I think that they had the head-to-head between Flyrax and Try here on Overpass, and you're seeing why. Both of them having so much impact in terms of frags, in terms of just stopping the rot, in terms of the push.
Round number 18, and the massive lead that they had, I mean, it's just slowly evaporating here. Credit to Imperial for keeping their mental game strong. Oh, Skulls. He's really had a rough day at the office, hasn't he? Spray down there for No Way, not quite working out. Hold the phone. Maybe TNL can steal this round back. They're doing fantastic work already. Good flick from Try. He's really on one, but he couldn't get the next bullet in the chamber. So now it's a 1 versus 1. Incendiary to put some pressure on Onic, but it bounces the wrong way. Too far out to the right, and Onic, he gets to plant the bomb and also escape edge of the smoke, but Cello's so good with that reaction. That is incredibly scary, but it does work out for Imperial.
Yeah, the good part about that Molotov, even though you're right, it was a bit too far to the right-hand side, is it allowed him to know that he wasn't hiding still on the site close. So he could afford to stare down the smoke and anticipate that peak.
Close to going down in that moment. Scoreline is now tied up 9-9. And we're going into round number 19. We've got, obviously, with the loss bonus here, a bomb plant will get TNL really far. It looks like they might just try and speed it up here. They're running straight in there. No slowdowns on this one. They will sort of bend a little bit and try and see if they can wrap around short, but they should just keep it going. The backup is going to be there soon, though. Skulls gets the one. A little bit overextended. Some great headshots. He hits a dink onto Flyrax as well, but Skulls, that is the player that we all know and love. Is that a handshake? I love that. They've had a lot of great individuals. I mean, Onic is obviously stuck in like the permanent, IGL kind of role where he's sacrificing a lot to try and get the team on the board. And he was also playing a really tough position down the B-bomb side and the CT side. Oh, Vinny! That is dirty, isn't it? Takes the kills, full-on spray against Flyrax, but you don't have to recommit to this. You could just leave it alone. You got the 5-on-3, and Vinny knows. He's obviously a veteran at this stage. He's got no doubt about it, but that was a crisp shot.
It's always remarkable to me how players can keep calm in these positions, because if I landed that one tap, I'm thinking in that moment that I am gone. Like, I'm taking all the duels, I'm getting all the kills, but realistically, I'm dying straight away. So, well done, Vinny. Beautiful one tap, stays alive, does exactly what the team need of him.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. The instant overconfidence to say, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Tactics into play. I think we're starting to see that develop now as the game continues on. And when you don't have Davey landing a ton of ridiculous insta headshots, things are going to start to get a whole lot harder. As Skulps has opened up his account, the boost up from Cello on point, and it looks like Imperial about to seal this 2-0 and move through to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, very, very strong showing in the first half, obviously, for TNL. But Imperial relying on that experience, not getting tilted. Great leadership, obviously, on the side of Imperial, too, to keep their mental in the game when they really needed it here. Skulls, good recovery from him individually. It's been a tough day, but he definitely had some impact rounds on this one. Davey and Kaon here, I'm not sure what they can do. 2 versus 4. The bomb is all the way back towards T-spawn even. So with 50 seconds on the clock, they have to run back and pick up the bomb and go forward again. It's, I don't know. This is a long ways away.
Yeah, No Way's also watching for the long peak as well. So it doesn't feel like there's that many opportunities. Even if this kill does come through, which it won't, tries there. And a pretty damning statistic as well is this will mean that TNL won a grand total of 0 T rounds. From 9-3 at halftime to 13-9. 10 rounds unanswered. And look, I want to give them a lot of credit, and I'm impressed with this team, but if you're not winning a single T round,
yeah,
your insta-ban is inferno. Like, your map pool is going to seriously struggle. If teams are watching this, Overpass is open, they're first picking it against you realistically. Like, this has been a pretty shoddy effort.
Yeah, I don't disagree. A really tough lesson for them to learn right now. Not much they could have done. Running out of time, it was never going to happen. A laugh from Vinny as they make the full comeback on the second half. Imperial with a 2-0 victory